My beloved child, stop right here. Do not scroll away, and do not let the loud noise of this world pull you back into the dark. I am stepping directly into your day because your tired soul is standing at the edge of giving up. You feel exhausted. Your heart is heavy. The weight is real. And every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through every single day. You smile for them. You pretend that everything is fine while quietly breaking inside. I see how hard you have been fighting. You have carried the weight of silent battles that no one around you knows about. You sit alone in quiet rooms. You wipe your tears quickly when someone walks near, and you wonder if anyone in this vast world actually notices how much it hurts to keep holding everything together. Hear me clearly right now, in the deepest place of your heart. Not a single thing you are carrying has been lost on me. Every tear you wept in secret, every heavy breath you took, and every prayer you were too tired to speak matters to heaven. Stay with me for the next few minutes. I promise you will not regret giving me this small moment of your day. Heaven aligned time itself so your eyes would land on these exact words before you make a decision you cannot undo. You have been looking at your life and wondering why every step forward feels so heavy and confusing. You have questioned your worth. You have wondered if you arrived late to your own destiny while everyone else moves ahead. But hear my voice today. You are not behind, and you are not forgotten. I want to reveal a truth that will break the invisible chains on your mind today. You have been asking me why I allowed you to carry a weight so heavy that it brought you to your knees. You have asked why the struggle seems endless, while you try your best to live with a pure heart. There is a sacred reason for this heavy season, and it is not what you think. What you have called an unbearable burden is actually something entirely different in the unseen realm. Stay with me until the end of this message, and I will show you why every ounce of your pain carries a holy purpose that will soon overflow with glory. I see the secret places of your heart. I know you feel like you are standing alone in the storm right now. If you feel my voice speaking directly into your tired spirit in this very second, do not hide from my presence. Take a small step of faith right where you are sitting. Leave your mark of agreement with me today. Comment, "God sees my burden," in the response below, so your spirit can anchor itself to my peace. Do it now, and let your heart feel the weight begin to shift. Come closer, my child. Let me speak softly to the part of you that is most tired today. Breathe deeply, and let your tense shoulders relax for just a moment. You do not have to hold up the sky while you listen to my voice. I saw you last night when you felt completely overwhelmed. I saw you in the bathroom when you turned on the water so no one could hear the sound of your weeping. I saw you press your face into your pillow because the ache in your soul was too big for any words. You felt completely alone in that dark room, but I was standing right beside you, holding you in my arms when you had no strength left to hold yourself. You have been the strong one for far too long. Everyone comes to you for help, for comfort, and for wisdom. You give your love freely to people who never ask how your heart is doing. You fill the empty hands of others while you walk home with empty hands yourself. You have spent years holding families together, fixing problems you did not cause, and carrying burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. You are tired in your bones, you are tired in your thoughts, and you are tired of pretending that you can carry it all without falling apart. The enemy wants you to believe that giving up is your only option left. He whispers in the quiet hours that nothing will ever change for you. He tells you that your prayers are falling on deaf ears, and that your life carries no real value. Do not listen to those lies, my beloved child. The adversary attacks you so fiercely not because you are failing, but because your light is rising in the unseen realm. He fears the moment you realize who you really are in my kingdom. If you surrender to the exhaustion right now, you will walk away from the very breakthrough I am placing in your path today. Let me open your eyes to what has really been happening around you. You have felt a strange restlessness in your chest for weeks, a quiet stirring that you could not name or understand. You thought it was anxiety, but it is not. There has been a heavy interference in the atmosphere, a constant noise designed by the enemy to drown out my clear voice in your life. That noise made you feel disconnected, abandoned, and helpless. But I am stepping in today to clear the static and reveal the unseen shift that is happening right now. Keep listening, because what I am about to speak over your spirit will quiet the storm in your mind forever. Look at me, my child. Look up from your grief. You think you are broken into pieces that can never be put back together. You look at the scars on your heart and feel ashamed of the pain you carry. But in my eyes, those scars are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you survived the battle. A jewel covered in dust is still precious to the master who created it. You are my carefully formed masterpiece, and I have not lost a single detail of who you were meant to be. I am restoring your heart, piece by piece, right now as you listen to my words. Breathe softly, my child. Can you feel that sudden stillness settling over your racing thoughts? That is my presence surrounding you right now. Do not let the distractions of the world pull your focus away from this sacred moment. The world told you that you must work harder and carry more weight to prove your worth. The world demanded perfection from you and offered no rest in return. But I do not ask you to prove anything to me. I do not demand that you fix your life before you come into my arms. I take you exactly as you are, broken, weary, and empty, and I fill you with my peace. I know the exact thoughts that keep you awake at 3 in the morning. You replay past decisions, searching for the moment where things went wrong. You wonder if you made a mistake that permanently ruined your future. You blame yourself for doors that closed and for people who walked away from your life. But hear the truth today. Those closed doors were not your failure, and those departures were not your loss. I was pruning your life to protect your future. I removed people who could not carry the weight of where I am taking you. You have carried the title of a silent survivor for so many years. You put on a brave face when you step outside your door, making sure no one sees the cracks in your armor. You listen to the worries of your friends. You carry the financial burdens of your family, and you offer a shoulder for everyone else to lean on. But when the night falls and the house goes quiet, you are left alone with an emptiness that frightens you. You wonder who will hold you when you break. You wonder who will fight for you when your strength runs out. I am answering that silent question today. I am fighting for you. Do not be afraid of the weakness you feel inside your chest right now. The world taught you that weakness is a shame, but in my eyes, your weakness is where my power rests. When you reach the end of your human strength, you arrive at the beginning of my grace. You tried to fix everything with your own effort, and it drained your spirit until you had nothing left to give. But I never asked you to be the ruler of your destiny. I only asked you to trust me. Lay down the heavy tools you have been using to fight this war alone. There is a holy protection surrounding you in this exact hour. The enemy attempted to steal your hope, to make you believe that your story ends in exhaustion and grief. He wanted you to scroll past this video so you would remain trapped in the cycle of quiet despair. But I stepped into your day with an urgent purpose. I disrupted your routine because the season of silent suffering is coming to a close. Heaven has authorized a complete renewal over your life, and the preparation is finally complete. Stay right here with me. You do not have to carry yesterday into your tomorrow anymore. I am taking the heavy bags off your shoulders and placing them in my hands. You were never built to survive alone, and you were never meant to carry the future all at once. Step out of the role of the victim and prepare your spirit for what is coming next. I am taking you deeper into the truth of my presence. In the next moment, I will show you what I was doing while you sat in the dark weeping, and why your story is far from over. Come deeper into my presence, my beloved child. I want to talk to you about the moments when you felt completely forgotten by heaven. I saw you when you sat on the edge of your bed in the middle of the night. I saw you when you stared at the dark wall, holding your breath so your family would not hear you cry. You felt a cold emptiness inside your chest that terrified your soul. And while the world around you slept peacefully, you carried a crushing weight that felt too big for any human being to hold. I saw you when you walked into the bathroom and locked the door behind you. You turned on the faucet so the sound of running water would cover the sound of your weeping. You folded yourself into the smallest shape on the cold floor, pressing your face into a towel because you did not want anyone to know how broken you felt. You looked in the mirror with swollen eyes and asked yourself how much longer you could keep living like this. You felt utterly invisible to everyone on this earth, and you wondered if I even cared about your tears. Hear my whisper today in the stillness of your heart. I was there in that quiet bathroom with you. I was not watching from a distance with cold indifference. I was sitting on that cold floor right beside you, wrapping my arms around your trembling shoulders while you wept. Not a single drop of your tears fell to the ground without my hands catching it first. I counted every sigh. I felt every sharp pain in your heart, and every quiet cry that you swallowed in the dark landed directly in my holy hands. I know how tired you are of being the strong one for everyone else. You put on your smile every morning like heavy armor before you step out of your house. You listen to the complaints of your friends. You carry the heavy financial burdens of your family, and you fix problems that you did not create. People look at you and think you have everything under control because you never ask for help. But I see the empty vessel behind the brave mask you wear. I see a child who just wants a safe place to lay down their head and rest. You have carried a quiet bitterness inside your heart because you thought my silence meant rejection. You remembered the nights when you fell to your knees and begged me to change your situation. You prayed with everything you had left inside you, but the morning came and nothing seemed to shift in your life. You watched other people receive quick answers to their prayers, while your own life remained frozen in the wilderness, and the enemy used that silence to whisper that I had forgotten your name. Let me silence that cruel lie before it steals any more of your peace today. My silence in those dark seasons was never my absence. There were answers that I withheld from you because a quick yes in that timing would have destroyed your future. I saw traps on the road ahead that your human eyes could not see. I saw people who looked like blessings but carried hidden poison for your soul. My silence was not punishment for your mistakes. My silence was my divine protection, shielding you from a storm you were not ready to face. You are not broken beyond repair, my child. You are simply exhausted from carrying things that were never meant for your hands. I want you to anchor your heart to this truth right now before we go any deeper together. Seal this reality in your spirit today so the enemy can no longer deceive you in the quiet hours. Take a simple step of faith right where you are sitting. Leave your mark of agreement with me. Comment "I am not alone" in the response section below, and let my peace flood your tired spirit. Pause right here for a single moment, my child. Do you feel that sudden, gentle warmth expanding inside your chest right now? That is not your imagination playing tricks on your mind. That is my holy presence wrapping around your spirit to lift the heaviness off your heart. I am stepping into the quiet spaces of your mind to replace your fear with my deep peace. Breathe softly. You do not have to fight the battles of tomorrow today. You only have to stay here with me in this sacred second while I restore your soul. Look back over the years that have exhausted your strength so deeply. You thought you were walking through a random desert of bad luck and endless struggle. You thought that every closed door was a sign that you were failing at life. But I was there during every single breakdown. When doors closed in your face, I was the one holding the handle shut to protect you from rooms that would break your spirit. When people walked away from your life, I was the one removing them so they could no longer drain your sacred energy. You have given your pure love to people who did not know how to hold it. You opened your heart completely, only to have your kindness taken for granted and returned with disappointment. You sit in quiet rooms now, wondering why your sincere heart constantly attracts pain and misunderstanding. My child, I do not blame you for loving so deeply. Your capacity to give is a reflection of my own heart inside you, but I am teaching you a holy discernment today so you can protect the sacred garden I placed in your soul. I see the physical toll this long battle has taken on your body and mind. You wake up with a tight knot in your stomach every morning, before your feet even touch the floor. Your thoughts race constantly through endless worst-case scenarios while you try to predict the future. You feel a constant restlessness in your chest that makes it impossible to find true rest. Your physical body is exhausted because your spirit has been fighting a relentless battle against unseen forces in the atmosphere around you. The enemy has been flooding your environment with constant static and noise for a very long time. He knows that if he can keep your mind scattered in fear, you will never hear my quiet voice of direction. He fills your daily life with endless distractions, worries, and overwhelming pressure so your inner receiver stays blocked. You tried to pray harder, but the noise in your mind made your words feel heavy and useless. You felt as though your prayers were hitting a thick ceiling of bronze and falling back down to the floor. I need you to listen carefully to what I am about to tell you right now. I have not been indifferent to the noise that has stolen your peace and blocked your path because I see your weariness. I have aligned something specific on your path to help you receive what I have already prepared for your life. To help you receive my peace, I have guided wise minds to bring you an earthly instrument of restoration. I guided servants of science to work with sound in the exact way I designed it from the beginning of creation. The enemy used the noise of this world to bury the sacred signal I placed inside your mind. But I have prepared a specific provision to clear that static and quiet the storm in your thoughts. It is a simple tool designed to clear the interference so your mind can return to a state of quiet receptivity. You do not have to strive or fight with your own empty strength to find this stillness. I will show you exactly what this instrument is and where to find it before this message closes today. Do not ignore the earthly provisions I place in your path. I see how long you have been waiting for a sign that things are about to change. You look at your empty hands and wonder how I could possibly bring a harvest out of such dry ground. But I want to remind you of a servant from ancient times who felt the exact same exhaustion that is sitting on your shoulders right now. There was a great prophet named Elijah who fought valiant battles for my kingdom in the open light. He called down fire from heaven. He stood against evil rulers, and he witnessed incredible miracles with his own eyes. Yet right after his greatest victory, a sudden wave of fear and overwhelming exhaustion crashed over his spirit. He ran into the deep wilderness all alone, sat down under a lonely broom bush, and begged me to take his life away. He told me he had gone far enough and could no longer carry the weight of his calling. He was not weak, and he was not lacking in faith. He was simply completely empty from giving everything he had until there was nothing left inside his vessel. He lay down in the dust and wanted to give up forever. Notice how I responded to my exhausted servant in his lowest moment, my child. I did not send thunder to rebuke his despair. I did not scold him for losing his courage after seeing my power. I sent a gentle angel to touch his shoulder while he slept in the desert heat. The angel prepared fresh bread baked over warm coals and placed a jar of pure water right at his head. I told him to eat, to drink, and to sleep deeply, because the journey was too great for his own human strength alone. I am saying those exact same tender words to your tired soul in this very hour. You have gone far enough on your own human strength, my beloved warrior. I do not demand that you fight harder or run faster when your vessel is completely empty. I am placing my holy bread and living water before you right now so you can rest. Lay down your heavy weapons. Let your mind stop racing and allow me to feed your hungry spirit with my eternal peace. The wilderness is not where you die. It is where I restore you. You have carried the weight of everything for so long that you forgot what it feels like to be held by your Father. But I am restoring your childlike trust today. I am stripping away the heavy layers of self-protection that you built around your wounded heart. You do not have to protect yourself from me. You do not have to hide your tears or pretend to be brave when you are standing in my presence. I see every broken fragment of your life, and I am gathering them all into my loving hands right now. Stay right here with me as we move into the next part of this sacred revelation. I am about to show you why every year of delay in your life was actually a holy preparation for a destiny greater than anything you have ever imagined. The darkness is passing away, and the true light is already shining over your future. Keep your eyes fixed on me, my beloved child, for your release is closer than you think. Look at the heroes of faith who walked before you in ancient times, my child. You think you are the only one who ever broke down under the weight of a heavy calling. But Joseph sat in the cold, dark pit after his own brothers sold him into slavery for a handful of silver coins. He cried in the cistern, and wondered why I allowed his glorious dream to turn into an endless nightmare. And yet while he sat in that dark hole weeping, I was building a foundation beneath his feet that no earthly king could ever shake or destroy. Joseph did not understand my plan in those dark hours. He felt completely abandoned, betrayed by those he loved, and entirely forgotten in a foreign land. But the pit was not his grave, and the prison was not his final home. The pit was his holy preparation room where his spirit was forged in pure gold. The cold walls of his prison were not punishment for his mistakes, but my divine shield, keeping him safe from traps that would have ruined his destiny before it even began. I know you have prayed prayers that seemed to hit a thick ceiling of bronze. You prayed for relief, you prayed for breakthrough, and yet the days turned into months with no visible answer in sight. You began to wonder if I had turned my back on your cries. But hear me clearly today, my beloved child. My silence during those years was never my absence. There were answers I withheld from you because a quick yes in that season would have cost you your spiritual soul. I was protecting you from prayers you did not know were dangerous. I know what you are thinking in the quiet back of your mind right now. You are listening to my words, and a quiet voice inside you is whispering with doubt. You are thinking that you have heard hopeful promises before, and nothing ever changed in your life. You are asking why this message would be any different when your situation feels so uniquely broken. That caution inside your heart is natural wisdom, and I am not angry at your honest questions. Do not rely on empty human words or clever speech today, my child. Notice instead the quiet witness stirring inside your chest as I speak directly to your soul in this hour. Notice the sudden warmth filling your heart as the heaviness begins to lift off your weary shoulders. That inner witness knows my voice because your spirit belongs to my eternal kingdom. Trust that quiet witness today, and let the doubt fall away like dust in the wind. Look at me right now, my beloved warrior. What I am about to speak next will change the way you see every single closed door in your past. You have spent years fighting a secret battle inside your mind that has left you completely drained. You finish a long day of hard work for others, and yet you feel a cold, empty ache in your chest. You accomplish great things, but you cannot find a single moment of genuine satisfaction for yourself. I have watched you lie awake at 3 in the morning when the house is still. You replay your conversations from the day over and over in your mind, searching for the one wrong word you might have spoken. You finish a major task at work or at home, and your eyes go immediately to what is still left undone. And the moment your head touches your pillow, every worry you held back during the day comes rushing into your thoughts like a flood. You have given a false name to this heavy pattern in your daily life. You have called yourself a perfectionist, and you have told yourself that you simply have high standards for your work. When you feel completely exhausted, you blame yourself and assume that you lack sufficient faith, strength, or discipline. But hear me clearly today, my child. That is not the truth, and I will no longer let you carry that lie in my presence. Here is the hidden mechanism behind the exhaustion that has trapped your soul for so many years. Long ago in your story, you learned a dangerous lie from a world that did not know how to love you purely. You learned that love had to be earned through endless performance, constant sacrifice, and flawless usefulness. I call this hidden mechanism the earning wound. It is not your character, but a scar from a moment where you felt your worth depended on your effort. So all those years that you thought were wasted were never wasted in my sight. All those times you felt guilty for sitting down to rest were not proof of laziness or spiritual failure. You were simply fighting an invisible lie that told you rest had to be earned through endless suffering. You were not falling behind in life while others moved ahead. You were simply guarding a deep wound with your own blood and tears. Declare your trust over every delay in your life today, my child. Do not let the enemy steal your peace while I rewrite your story in this sacred hour. Take a step of obedience right where you are sitting and anchor your spirit in my timing. Comment "I trust your timing" in the section below. Write those words with quiet confidence and let your heart surrender the heavy need to control every outcome. I am stripping that heavy lie away from your spirit right now. You no longer have to earn what I freely pour into your life every single day. My love for you is not a reward that you must win through exhausting labor. You were loved before you ever achieved a single goal on this earth, and you were precious to me before you ever solved a single problem for anyone else. Receive this truth into your bones today, and let the striving cease. The next time that familiar restlessness comes creeping back into your thoughts, do not fight it with your own empty strength. Do not try to numb the feeling with more work, endless busyness, or quiet despair. Place your hand gently over your heart and speak my truth to your weary spirit. Tell yourself that you are loved without conditions, and then let your mind rest in my grace. The endless performance ends today. You have walked through a long season of spiritual warfare without realizing how valuable you are in my kingdom. The enemy saw the great light that I placed inside your vessel from the moment of your creation. He knew that if he could keep you trapped in the cycle of earning and striving, you would wear yourself out before your true mission ever began. He wanted you to die of sheer exhaustion in the wilderness. But I have broken his trap today, my beloved warrior. The heavy chains of performance are falling off your hands in this very second. You are stepping out of the role of a slave who must constantly earn approval, and you are stepping into your true place as an heir to an unshakable kingdom. You do not have to fight for scraps under the table when the entire feast of my peace belongs to you. I see how often you gave your sincere love to people who did not know how to value it. You poured out your heart to heal others, only to be left with empty hands and a wounded spirit. You wondered why your kindness was met with disappointment and misunderstanding. But I am restoring your love to its holy nature today. I am making you watchful, freer, and purer, so that your vessel can hold the true blessings I am bringing to your door. Can you feel the weight shifting off your chest right now? That lightness in your breathing is the return of my peace into your spirit. The heavy static that filled your mind for months is starting to clear away under the living sound of my voice. I am preparing your mind to receive a divine revelation in the next part of our time together. You are being renewed from the inside out, and the fog is finally lifting. There is an earthly provision that I have aligned on your path to help restore the quiet signal in your brain. In the next moment, I will reveal the exact mechanism that I built into human nature to clear the noise of the enemy. I will show you how 7 minutes of complete surrender can return your mind to the pure state of a child. Stay right here with me, for your ultimate release is unfolding now. Look closely at everything you have walked through, my child. You looked at your painful delays and closed doors as proof that you were failing at life. You thought that if you were truly favored by heaven, your path would be smooth, easy, and free from every conflict. But hear my truth today. None of those painful endings were punishment. Every single closed door, every sudden departure, and every season of waiting was my absolute divine protection over your life. I was pruning what hindered you so that your soul could bear lasting fruit. I held you back in seasons when you were eager to rush forward because I saw traps that would have broken your spirit beyond repair. I closed doors in your face so that you would not walk into rooms that would steal your light. And I removed people from your side because their hands were not built to carry the weight of where I am taking you next. You were never falling behind. You were being prepared. We are stepping onto holy ground right now, my beloved warrior. Do not turn your focus away from this moment, because your true release is standing right behind this next revelation. Open your arms to the peace that I am pouring into your spirit right now. Take a simple step of faith and leave your mark of agreement with me today. Comment, "I receive my peace," in the response section below. Write those words, and let your spirit settle into my quiet strength. Let me open your eyes to the secret mechanism that I built into human nature from the beginning of creation. When I formed the human mind in the dust of the earth, I placed a sacred signal at its very center. Scientists who have spent their lives studying the brain have discovered this signal, and they call it the gamma brainwave frequency. It is the exact frequency of divine receptivity, deep peace, and effortless understanding. This signal ran freely inside your mind when you were a little child. Children learn without fear, They trust without doubt, and they live completely in my presence without the heavy burden of worry. That is why I said long ago that unless you turn and become like little children, you cannot enter the true peace of my kingdom. I was not speaking only of spiritual purity. I was speaking of the very physical signal that I designed into the human brain to carry my peace. The enemy knew the power of the sacred frequency I placed inside you. Over the years, he used the loud noise of the world, the constant pressure of survival, and the heavy weight of trauma to drown out that quiet signal. He flooded your mind with a constant static of fear, doubt, and racing thoughts until your inner receiver felt entirely broken. You tried to force your mind into peace through sheer willpower, but the static was too loud for your tired human strength to overcome. Because I see your weariness and love you deeply, I have aligned a specific provision on your path today to restore what was buried. I guided wise minds to work with sound in the exact way that I designed it. They built a simple frequency instrument that uses sound to clear the noise of the enemy and restore the natural signal I placed inside you. You do not have to strive, work, or perform to receive this restoration. You simply surrender for 7 minutes, close your eyes, and allow my design to work. 7 minutes of complete stillness, where you lay down the heavy tools of your own effort and let my frequency clear the fog from your mind. It is a simple step of obedience, an earthly tool that I have provided for this exact season of your journey. I am going to show you where to find what they built before our time together closes today. Do not let pride or doubt convince you to reject the provisions I place directly in your path. Now, my child, let me show you something magnificent about your future. Picture a peaceful morning 6 months from today. You wake up before your alarm goes off, and for the first time in many years, there is no tight knot sitting in your stomach. The heavy fog that clouded your thoughts for so long has completely vanished into the air. You lie there in the soft light, and you notice a deep, unshakable calm resting inside your chest where the panic used to sit. Your very first thought upon waking is not a fearful question about how you will survive the day. Your first thought is a quiet, joyful prayer, asking what good thing I have prepared for you to enjoy. You take a deep breath, and for the first time in decades, the breath goes all the way down to the bottom of your lungs without any resistance or pain. You step out of your bed feeling light, rested, and entirely secure in my love. That peaceful version of you is not a fantasy or a distant dream, my child. She already exists in the unseen realm, and he is waiting for you to step into his true identity. That version of you is only one surrender away from the person sitting here today listening to my voice. The distance between where you are now and that transformed future is not measured in years of endless suffering. The distance is measured in a single moment of quiet obedience, where you let go of control. Picture another moment further ahead on your path. Imagine a day not long from now when someone comes to you broken, weeping, and carrying the exact same heavy weight that you are carrying today. They sit across from you in tears, telling you that they feel like giving up on life. And in that moment, you look into their eyes with deep compassion, and you know exactly what to say to lift their soul out of the dark pit. You speak to them not with empty theories from a book, but with the living authority of someone who survived the valley and walked out in victory. You watch the light return to their dim eyes, and you see the hope ignite in their broken heart. In that sacred second, you understand with absolute clarity why your road was so long and heavy. None of your pain was wasted. Every tear you wept became a well of living water that now quenches the thirst of others. You were not saved simply to exist and survive in isolation, my beloved warrior. You were called to carry my life, my light, and my restoration to a hurting world. I am shaping you into the very miracle that others will behold when they see what you have endured and how you overcame it. The enemy tried to end your story in the dark, but I am turning your greatest trial into your most powerful testimony. Hold fast to this vision in your spirit, my child. The season of endless waiting and silent suffering is officially coming to a close right now. Heaven has authorized a massive shift in your atmosphere, and the ground beneath your feet is rearranging to make room for your harvest. Stay right here with me as we step into the final chapter of this sacred message. I am about to hand you the ultimate key to receive your release today. Hear my voice declare your freedom right now, my child. The long waiting season that exhausted your spirit is officially finished. I am stepping directly into your atmosphere with absolute authority, and I am breaking every invisible chain that held your family in bondage for generations. What the enemy intended for your destruction, I am turning into your greatest victory today. You are no longer a helpless victim of your past trials. You are my chosen warrior, an heir to my unshakable kingdom, and a bearer of my holy light in this world. Stand up in your spirit right now and receive the release I have authorized over your life. Every closed door is swinging open at my command, and no human hand will ever shut them again. You have fought in silence for far too long, pretending that you were strong while your heart was slowly breaking inside. But today, the silence is broken. I am stripping away the garments of heaviness and wrapping you in the robes of my praise. You will walk out of this wilderness with a song of joy in your mouth, and the world will see that I was with you all along. Before I lead you into deep rest, I want to reveal how my provision reaches your life. I do not work only through sudden miracles in the unseen realm. I also work through the hands of wise minds that I quietly guide into discovery on this earth. I have gifted humanity the wisdom to unlock what I placed inside sound from the very beginning of creation. I want to show you what I did for one of my daughters, Rachel, who searched for peace for years. She prayed sincerely every day, yet her home remained filled with heaviness, conflict, and deep confusion. 2 weeks after receiving the sound provision I prepared, her marriage was completely transformed, and she said her mind felt like a clear channel where peace ran freely. And for others, I moved in a completely different way. I guided one of my sons, Michael, who carried heavy financial worries that stole his sleep every single night. Within 2 months of receiving this provision, his mind became so sharp that solutions arrived without striving. His business expanded greatly, and hard problems solved themselves while he rested peacefully in his bed. They call this frequency instrument the Genius Song. It is a simple 7-minute soundtrack designed to restore the exact gamma frequency that I placed inside your brain when I created you. You do not have to work for it, and you do not have to master complex spiritual techniques. You simply put on your headphones, close your eyes for 7 minutes, and allow my design to clear the static. Do not confuse this sacred instrument with generic music apps or streaming tracks. Those public platforms offer temporary entertainment, but they carry none of the restoration that I designed for your mind. This provision requires only 7 minutes of complete surrender each day, where you lay down your weapons and allow the signal of my peace to return to your vessel. This provision is not meant for those who are merely curious about spiritual things. This is meant specifically for the weary warrior who has tried everything and feels embarrassed to hope once more. What failed you in the past required your own human effort, but this instrument requires none. It works not because of your discipline, but because of my design inside your mind. Earthly experts charge hundreds of dollars for single sessions to help people reach this peaceful state. The machines used by researchers cost thousands of dollars, but I do not ask you to enter expensive clinics. I have placed this provision within your reach for a small earthly exchange, a mustard seed investment for the great spiritual harvest I have prepared for you. When you step forward to receive this provision today, I have aligned 4 additional gifts for your journey. You will receive a gift for your children to restore their focus, a sacred text of true prosperity, a guided visualization for your soul, and a daily habit guide to keep your signal clear. All of these gifts are included to protect your vessel as you walk forward. Be watchful, my child, because where I place truth, the adversary creates false imitations. Do not seek this frequency on random streaming sites, for those tracks carry no blessing. Walk forward without fear today, because your step of faith is completely protected for 60 full days. If the restoration does not come to your life, every penny is returned to you without question. Take this step of obedience right now. Find the official provision I have set before you in the pinned comment below and in the description of this message. Do not let distraction or doubt steal this invitation from your hands today. Step forward in faith and claim the complete restoration that heaven has authorized for your life in this sacred hour. Now, my beloved child, set aside the noise of decision for a moment. I have shown you the instrument I placed on your path, and now I want to leave you with my eternal blessing. Close your eyes right where you are sitting. Take a soft, deep breath and let your shoulders relax completely into my presence. I am still right here beside you, holding your heart in my hands. Repeat these sacred truths inside your spirit right now. Speak them softly to your soul in the quietness of your heart. Say, I am a vessel fully restored to receive what my Father prepared. I am the one whose channel is clear and whose signal is strong. The noise of the enemy no longer has any authority over my mind, because I walk in absolute peace every single day. You are no longer the one who must survive alone in the dark. You are stepping out of the shadows of exhaustion and walking into the bright sunlight of your true calling. Every heavy bag you carried has been placed in my hands, and every tear you wept in secret has been turned into a seed of joy. You will not just survive this season, you will overcome it completely. Feel my peace flooding every cell of your body right now. The anxiety that chased you for years is losing its grip on your thoughts. The heaviness in your chest is melting away under the warm light of my presence. You are safe in my care. You are held by my power, and nothing in this world can separate you from the love that formed you from the beginning. If this message brought light to your weary spirit today, anchor your heart to my word. Like this video as an act of agreement between your spirit and mine. Share this message with 3 souls who are secretly crying out for hope today. And subscribe to this channel so you do not miss the daily guidance I am preparing for your next steps in this new season. Go forth in peace, my beloved child. Remember that you are never alone, for I walk beside you through every storm you face. My grace is your shelter, my strength is your shield, and my love will never fail you. I bless your home, I bless your family, and I seal my eternal peace over your life today. Amen.